45% of U.S. real estate agents are struggling to pay rent on their offices.
Higher mortgage rates continue to impact demand from potential home buyers.
We had the ability with all of our tools to get them comfortably into 5% interest rates.
Is the American dream over? As time passes, fewer people believe in a bright future. For many years, the American dream was a promise that anyone could achieve success and prosperity through hard work and determination. This idea was deeply ingrained in American culture and was seen as a defining characteristic of the country. However, recent studies suggest that this belief is fading. Last year, a National Opinion Research Center survey found that only 36% of voters believe the American dream is still possible. This number is significantly lower than the 53% who expressed faith in the concept in 2012 and the 48% who did so in 2016. One of the aspects that fuels pessimism is that more and more Americans, especially young Americans, can no longer afford a home. So in this video, we'll talk about why youth find owning a home unaffordable. But before moving on, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss an upload. Thank you. Now, let's get back to the topic. The current housing market in the United States is the most challenging in a generation, with some young people finding it difficult to achieve their dream of owning a home. The recent spike in mortgage rates has made it harder for people to afford homes, with rates reaching their highest levels in over 2 decades last fall. Although some rates have decreased slightly since then, the high cost of homes and a limited inventory of housing options continues to make housing unaffordable for many Americans. Economists predict that home prices may remain high despite the recent fall in mortgage rates. For those looking to buy a home, it's a tough time, but it's especially difficult for first-time young buyers who need to save up for a down payment and build up their credit score, while the older generation refuses to sell their big houses. According to a housing affordability survey published in April 2023 by Bankrate, the majority of individuals belonging to Generation Z and millennials who do not own a home are willing to make a sacrifice to achieve their goal of owning a home. This percentage stands at 82% of those between the ages of 18 and 42, which is higher than the 61% of non-homeowner Generation Xers and baby boomers, those between the ages of 43 and 77. These younger generations are also more inclined to take action than Americans overall, including homeowners and non-homeowners alike. It's safe to say that the young generation is desperate. To become homeowners, those belonging to the younger generations are willing to take various measures, such as buying a fixer-upper, 29%, moving out of state, 29%, taking on roommates and living with additional family members, 27%, downsizing their living space, 27%, or moving further away from family and friends, 26%. These individuals are willing to make these sacrifices in order to find more affordable housing, which is a significant concern among them. Unfortunately for young Americans, there are no signs of cooling, soaring housing prices. The National Association of Home Builders, NAHB, reported in October and November of 2023 that mortgage rates had reached a 2-decade high, making home affordability the lowest it's been in over a decade. Despite this, property prices remained high, causing homes to be priced beyond the reach of many households earning a median income of a little over $96,000. In fact, the NAHB pointed out that about 38% of homes sold towards the end of last year were affordable for median earning incomes, which was about the same number compared to the previous quarter, making it the lowest since 2012. Interest on a home loan hovered at or around 8% in the fall of 2023. NAHB Chairman Alicia Huey stated affordability conditions should show some gradual improvement this year, as mortgage rates peaked in the fourth quarter of 2023 and are now well below 7%. However, certain dynamics in the housing market may still make it challenging for prospective buyers. According to the NAHB, the construction cost remains high. There's a shortage of workers in the sector, which could impact the prices of homes for sale. Despite the drop in prices in the fourth quarter from $388,000 to $375,000 American dollars, housing costs still squeeze Americans' pocketbooks. In fact, NAHB chief economist Robert Dietz pointed out that housing costs contributed more than half of the increase in inflation in the latest consumer price index. According to a recent study by CoreLogic, a real estate data and analytics company, mortgage rates are expected to decrease from the record high levels they reached last year. However, homeowners in 20 cities across the United States may still need to prepare themselves for an increase in home prices. CoreLogic predicts that there will be a nationwide home price increase of 2.5% through November 2024, with some cities such as Redding, California, and Fairbanks, Alaska experiencing more than double that growth rate. This is despite mortgage rates being on the rise, which has made it difficult for many first-time buyers to enter the market. CoreLogic chief economist Selma Hepp noted that the housing market has remained remarkably strong in the face of affordability challenges, thanks to pent-up demand. Additionally, areas where inventory shortages have been prolonged due to a lack of new homes for sale have seen notable price gains throughout 2023. Marriage and family are fundamental building blocks for society, but in America, they're being undermined by failed public policies. For decades, rates of both marriage and childbirths have been declining, and the current cost of living crisis is poised to accelerate these declines. It's a simple fact: you're less likely to get married and have kids if you can't afford a place to live. Today, millions of young Americans are struggling to make ends meet despite holding second or even third jobs. A staggering 60% of them are living paycheck to paycheck, unable to save for the future. Americans have accumulated a record high $1.1 trillion in credit card debt, as many struggle to cover even their basic necessities. The financial strain on American families is also reflected in the rising defaults and delinquencies, which are now at their record highest level since the Great Recession of 2008. Back then, the world faced a mortgage meltdown and a global financial crisis. This economic hardship is reflected in public opinion, with many Americans expressing pessimism about current economic conditions. Nowhere is this more evident than in the housing market, where many families are being priced out of their homes, leading to a rise in homelessness and other social ills. All these factors contribute to the erosion of the institution of marriage and family, which has far-reaching implications for society. In 2022, the average sales price of a new home in the United States witnessed a dramatic increase. However, in 2023, there was a slight decline in the average sales price from $540,000 to $511,100. It's noteworthy that for the first time in 2021, the average sales price of a new home exceeded $400,000. The low cost of borrowing primarily drove the increase in house prices. In 2020 and 2021, the mortgage rates reached a historic low, and homeowners could take out a loan with a 15-year mortgage rate of less than 2.5%. This led to increased demand for houses, and in 2021, the number of housing transactions peaked at almost 7 million. It's been observed that Americans are now staying in their homes for twice as long as they used to. The median U.S. homeowner is now spending 11.9 years in their home, which is nearly double the amount of time people spent in their homes in 2005, when the median homeowner tenure was about 6.5 years. The primary reason for this shift is the challenge of housing affordability, which has led to homeowners staying put as mortgage rates and home prices remain elevated. Around 40% of boomers who own their homes have stayed put for 20 years or more, which is far longer than Gen X homeowners, of which just 35% have stayed in their homes for 10 years or more. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and as always, feel free to share your opinion on the subject in the comments section below.